different theories that really look at the world and why it's so unequal. So both theories are attacking the same general principle that the world is unequal. People that grow up here in the Midwest versus South America versus Africa versus Europe, there are many different ways that these lives are unequal. And specifically, there's a lot of power differences and quality of life differences between these groups of people. Well, if we divide that up, we have modernization theory and dependency theory. These are both looking at that same difference, that same idea that the world is really unequal, but they're explaining it in totally different ways. So today we're going to look at modernization theory and one type of modernization theory, and then introduce dependency theory. I'm not going to talk about a specific type of dependency theory in this lecture, but there are other tutorials that talk about a specific type of dependency theory. So, what is modernization theory? Well, modernization theory really is based from this idea of the structural functional approach. And so you have all these different parts working together, and good things and bad things all work as part of this machine, and that machine really is trying to keep society going. Well, within that approach and within the modernization theory, the idea of global stratification is not that it's bad, it's actually caused because of just some differences there, and that technology and cultural differences are what cause stratification. And a key component of that, if it's caused by just technology and cultural differences, well then anybody, any nation can be powerful. Let's look at a specific modernizational theory so we can help really explore what it means. Rostow's stages of modernization. He has 5 different stages that really help explain this modernization theory. So this theory argues that all societies start in a traditional stage, the traditional stage. And here, society is structured in a way that it's built around a bunch of local communities. There's really strong ties to ancestors and the past and traditions, and there's very limited wealth. With limited material wealth, there's not actually a lot of trade going on. You can think about this traditional stage really being one where they're primarily hunters and gatherers. Next, they transition to stage 2, which is transitional society. In stage 2, they're really getting ready for a big change in the way that life is structured. And so they're starting to have this cultural shift between what was a traditional society and these new ideas. And those new ideas are individualism, the market economy, and the want for material wealth. So society hasn't actually changed much. Maybe they've started to develop more systematic farming, and so there is a little bit more wealth there, but there isn't tons of wealth yet. What's really happening is society is starting to not physically change, but intellectually, psychologically change into one that really values more individualism and really is looking towards the market economy, and people really want wealth. And that precedes to stage 3, and this is the takeoff. Here's where those ideas that started as a transitional one really continue and strengthen and become, the main thing here is they become the norms of society. So before, when there started to be some individualism, well now, it is the norm in that society that people are independent. You can see that image there of the plane taking off, and I've kind of used that imagery before, and I'll continue to use it throughout this presentation here. This modernizational theory is saying again that any type of society can really become modernized and become powerful and wealthy. It just has to follow through these 5 steps. So this 3rd step is really where they start to actually take off and things actually start to change in the society. That's why the image changed from a paper airplane, which is the idea of flight, to this actual plane here which can actually fly. Stage 4 is technological maturity. What's happening here is that's things that started to grow and strengthen, well now they've taken off. And the market economy is the norm, and industries have really taken off. Society as a whole has really transitioned now from the traditional. They've fully transitioned to this new type of society.